Welcome to the $500 investment experiment. This is the weekend of July 18th, 2026. And last week in the stock market, things sort of were very not good for the five ETF portfolios that I've made. It was a bad week overall. Large cap was down, small cap was down, international stocks and international bonds were down for the week also. It ended up affecting all five portfolios in a negative manner or whatever. They all five lost money. The week before, they all were just over $500, which is the break even point, but this week they all lost. The benchmark 100% VOO lost $7.71 for the week, bringing it back down again to $492.91 is what its current total is for the portfolio. And the Grow My Money that sat there in the Vanguard large cap sat there and lost money, VV ticker symbol. The VBR small cap value was up for the week. It did not lose money, but the international developed markets, ticker symbol VEA, was down for the week, and yet the BND ticker symbol, U.S. total bonds, did okay. They did not lose money this week. So those were two losers for Grow My Money and two winners for it, but it still has significant impact on the large cap and lost $5.60, bringing its total down to $496.35. And the American did a little better than the Grow My Money this week, but it still sat there and lost $5.37. But the mega cap lost money for the week. The mid cap, ticker symbol VO, broke even and made a little bit of money. But yet small cap value sat there and lost money. And yet the both bonds, total U.S. market and tips oriented, sat there and made just very little extra money, but they did not lose money, leaving the American at $496.53, which has it in second place behind Steady Eddie for this week. But then we go to the retirement guy, and the retirement guy in VTI, the U.S. total stock market, sat there and lost money for the week, along with international stocks, ticker symbol VXUS, lost money, and yet the U.S. bonds broke even, and yet international bonds did not break even. They lost just a little bit of money, and retirement guy with its 70-30 portfolio lost $6.43 for the week, knocking it down from $493.75. It's a little bit of a bad thing because the retirement guy had been pretty consistent with maintaining a little bit of consistency, staying in the market with everybody, and yet it actually is below the benchmark for this week and below Grow My Money and the American. And then down here at the end, we have Steady Eddie, 60-40, and keep plugging away. This Vanguard Factor multi-factor fund is just keeps ticking away and giving Steady Eddie some consistency for growth and stuff. And yet the core bond fund did okay. It did not lose money this week. And yet VTI sat there and lost money, and the bond market did okay. I guess I have to look up multi-factor, but I thought multi-factor made a little bit of money, and majority of the loss was due to the VTI ticker symbol and that total stock market index, and they lost the least at $1.30. So they sort of won, but they were negative, and yet the total portfolio is $505.86. So it is up here. We sit there and had on July 11th, all five portfolios were over $500. It's the first time that this has happened, and that was in week 6, I believe, and yet week 7, man, they all just took a hit, and we'll have to see what happens in the upcoming week. 6 out of the 7 in the next 2 weeks, 6 out of the 7 Magnificent 7 will announce earnings in the next 2 weeks. Uh, NVIDIA will not announce earnings until, I believe, late August. So they will not be, but the other 6 are going to sit there and announce earnings, and we'll see how that ends up affecting it. Since majority of the Magnificent 7 have a strong impact on large cap ETF funds, we'll see how that ends up affecting VTI, MGC, and VV in the next 2 weeks, all those ticker symbols. And then also next week, we have the Fed chair, Kevin Warsh, is scheduled to talk to the House of Representatives and the Senate this week, and we will see what effect that ends up having on the stock market. And originally, my pursuit here was to sit there and follow these ETFs on a weekly basis, follow these portfolios on a weekly basis. But I believe I might be better off to sit there and follow them on a monthly basis. Maybe if something significant happens, I will sit there and come in with an update or something. But I think with the little bit of changes, the yo-yoing up and down and everything that occurs weekly, that I would probably be better off to follow these publicly on a monthly basis and see how they do every 4 weeks on a monthly basis, and then it would give them 8 weeks or such and see how their changes go on. But as you see in the colorful graph here, is we are back down pretty heavily here. We see that the Steady Eddie is plowing away, and even though it had a loss this week, it is still leading the way and has a surge here above all the others. But we'll have to sit there and hopefully maybe see how some of these earnings, if they turn around large cap ETF funds, and how that goes forward. So thanks again for checking in with the $500 investment experiment. I'm not a financial advisor. These are just 5 portfolios that I put together for myself. I'm curious of their progress, and I'm tracking them on YouTube in order just to see how they go and to share the experience with other people. Hope everyone has a good week. Thank you very much.